Okay, so having almost forgot to do it, we'll now move the two Prussian cavalry brigades. So the first one we're going to try and move is under Kanitz, and he's a dice 10 leader, so dice 10 against dice 6 for movement. And we have an 8-6. So one move, but they could change formation instead. Basically, if you change formation or maneuver, that counts as your move segment, or a move segment if you have multiple ones. So for anyone that's played Black Powder, it's sort of similar to that, I suppose, in some ways. So we've got our moves here. The other thing is, because they've rolled even and 1, these cavalry could potentially charge straight in and melee. Okay, now with one move, these hussars can't reach the infantry. Not that they would necessarily want to, because the infantry would get a first volley shot at them. They're also just shy of the enemy hussars, which they slightly outclass, as the Russian hussars are quite weak because they're essentially irregulars at this stage, while these guys are more close to being battle cavalry. They're much more useful. But they can shimmy over. So what we'll think we'll do is we'll take the hussars forward as a screen. It's really what they're designed for, I suppose. And then we'll shuffle across our one move. Again, I did sort of 45 degrees eyeball it, but what you should really do is go over 1 to 2 and then go straight forward, but it's essentially the same thing. You're going to get somewhere there. Okay, depends how strict you want to be on there, how you do your rules and things. I'm not overly strict, but so they come up in behind. Okay, just reposition the general, and that leaves Seidlitz, who is a dice 12 general. So let's see what he can do with his Cuirassier brigade. And he rolls a 6 against a 5. So again, gets one segment. If he was close enough within the 6, he could charge straight in, but he's shy. So what he'll do, he's going to again go forward and shuffle across somewhat, face off against those dragoons, and then his mate behind him will come across as well. Hopefully to face off those horse grenadiers, of which he's better, and Seidlitz moves up. So that was the Prussian move card that I almost forgot. So again, the card I then turned for them was the melee card. So now this can be interesting. Those guys have moved up. If I had moved them a bit further, they might be within charge range, which is half their move. So for instance, for the Prussian Cuirassier, if I'd have brought them forward to say their full 6 inches move, they would now be able to charge on that card because they're within half and would conduct what's called an immediate melee. But we didn't. We left them slightly back, so they're not within the half charge range. Again, the hussars could oblique potentially into the other hussars, and actually I might just do that, not because it's a good idea, but simply because it'll show a melee, which we haven't done. So what we'll do is we'll oblique them across. Okay. Again, as long as you make sort of, if you make at least one base contact, at least one base to base, it becomes a melee. If it's just a corner, I wouldn't tend to allow it, but here it's sort of 1.5, so just line them up. No requirement to, but I just like a tidy battlefield. So what we'll have here then is our dice 10-6 Prussian hussars facing off against our dice 8-6 Russian hussars. So again, what we'll see is the first time we looked at the melee end of things. So you can see there, we'll take the Prussians first, they're charging. So outnumber means if you have 2 units on 1, rather than rolling them both separately, the target simply goes down 1 dice. I, in this period, have a house rule where if infantry charges cavalry, you go down 1, simply to discourage it because it didn't really do it. Town, right, so here's our, if you've got a heavier defense dice, you go up 1, or if you're heavier cavalry. Again, Brent has the heavier defense dice but doesn't have the heavier cavalry. Just something we put in. Okay, that doesn't apply here, they're both dice 6 defenses and they're both light cavalry. The Prussians will, however, go up 1 dice for having initiated the melee. Okay, it's frontal, so there's nothing there. If formations are both in line, so no changes. You can see here where I have the optional infantry supported or the house rule. Basically, if they're unsupported, as in not both flanks supported, will go down one. There's partial support where it's one flank or the other, or just the rear. No change. But if they're fully supported with either both flanks or one flank and the rear supported, they would go up one. Okay. Both in class 1 terrain. So this one's going to be a simple enough roll in that the Prussians are on dice 10, up 1 for the initiating melee, dice 12 against a dice 8, I think it was. Yeah, so 12 against 8, so some advantage to the Russians. We'll see how that, or the Prussians, will see how it turns out. I can't find my dice, so there's it there. A 12 against a red 8. Okay, so kind of disastrous for the Prussians. They roll the ubiquitous 1, my favourite roll, and the Russians roll a 7, so it's a difference of 6, which is 2 UI. On the Hussars, they lose 2 from their army deck, so it's 2 of these again. Okay, puts their commander at risk. It also puts the Russian commander at risk because his unit's been involved in melee, which I forgot to mark on the Russians who had their guns hit. I'll just do that now. Okay, so again checking our melee outcomes as such. So you roll a modified com. So you lose 1 and 1 MP for 3 hits. If you lose 1 UI, 1 plus UI, you fall back. If you lose 2 versus single enemy roll, you right. If you lose 2 versus single even cavalry roll, you are destroyed. And there we'll have cavalry or native infantry, which is like Indians, Red Indians or Native Indians, Zulus, those sorts of things. They win by rolling odd, they pursue, which means remain in place and lose 1 UI. Simple, but it doesn't come off your army. Right. So in this case, because they've lost 2 UI against a single enemy roll, doesn't have to be even. The poor old Prussian Hussars are going to rout. So they lost by a difference of 6. So in my system, they will come back 3 base widths. So you turn them around first of all, and back 3 widths with the column. Now that sort of puts them in the midst of those dragoons. So what I do is simply put them on an extra wee bit, and the gap will move them back slightly just to make this visible for you. So that's where they go. They retain their 2 hits, and I mark them with a red for rout. So fairly unsuccessful for the Prussians. Again, down to dice rolls. They did have an advantage of dice 12 against the dice 8, but the way I rolled dice, as you can see, the 7-1 was enough to rout those units. So that's the end of that Prussian card. So their next one is leadership, which interestingly gives them a chance to try and rally their units, including the guys that just routed. So we'll do that, and I think I'll finish that for the day and come back to another video. So again, we're trying to rally units, so we're using the commander for the brigade, who's a dice 10. Okay, let's look again. Is the enemy over 6? Let's check. Nope, they're not. Oh, what I forgot was, having read it out, as we said there, the winner of the melee was the Prussians, or the Russians, but they scored odd, which means they take 1 hit as if they pursued. It's like a disruption hit, but they don't lose 1 from their army deck, but it does leave them, I suppose it's the equivalent of blown in other sets, slightly vulnerable. Okay, so again, see the enemy's within 6, so that takes them down 1 dice, so our dice 10 now becomes a dice 8. They're routing, but they still have some of their UI, as in big cavalry, there's 1 left, so they go down another 1. If they had no UI left, as in or 0, they go down by 2. If you go below 0, you're gone anyway, so quite hard to do. It's where you need technical advantage cards, or you need to get away from the enemy, or something like a very good commander like a dice 12, which is the best you can have, has much more chance. So our commander Kanitz is on a 10. He'd be down 1 for the enemy being close, and down 1 for them basically being routers. So he'd be down 2, and he had a dice 6 against a Russian dice 8, so quite hard. What he needs to do is beat the score by more than 3 to remove one of these UI hits, which then gets rid of that. If he was just disordered or out of command, a winning roll, even or odds, would get rid of the out of command, but he doesn't have that. So there we are. Again, good old Prussians and my rolls. 8-1, so doesn't rally obviously, and a 1 means can't rally anything else, which thankfully we don't have. So what we'll do is we'll go over to this command which has some hits. Okay, so here we have a unit at the front with 2 hits, and if you can just see it there, the artillery with 1 hit. So what we're going to do is we'll try and rally that unit with 2 hits. So again, we'll have a dice 10 general. We're obviously within 6, so I'll take us down to dice 8, but with nothing else, so it'll be a dice 8 against a dice 8, unless somebody had a card to amend it. So here we roll, this being my usual excellent rolls, outrolled by the Russians, so no rallies there. So now we're going to the guns. It's the same roll, it'll be an 8 against an 8. And in this case, it's the opposite, 8-1 to the Prussians. So they could rally 2 hits off. If that had been, I could have got the 2 hits off him, right? But here we're able to restore that. However, it doesn't affect this deck, so they still have their losses from earlier, the Prussians. If I can just show you. So even you rally that hit, it doesn't come back into your army morale. It's an ongoing degradation of your combat power, I suppose, if you want to get technical about it. So that's the leadership card done for the Prussians. Okay. Getting late here on Northern Ireland, so what I'm going to do is stop that there, and we'll do the remaining 4 Prussian cards at some other juncture.